Well, hi, everybody. It's September the 10th, and as promised, I have another OSTA update. Hello, everybody. I'm Bill Bateman, part of the team at the Oregon State Tenants Association, or OSTA, as we like to call it. Got a lot of questions to answer for you, and the one I seem to be getting the most is the conference happening? Yes, it is. And the second most asked question, are tickets still available? Yes, they are. We're about 50% sold out, which at this point is a pretty good place to be. You still can order tickets, and I'm going to put the link both on the website. You can go to the OSTA website and snag a ticket there, or at the bottom of the login for this podcast. There'll be a link. You click it, you get your ticket, pops into your inbox. Problem resolved. You're no longer one of those people who may end up in the parking lot peering through one of the windows. Not a good place to be, especially if it rains. So order those tickets today. We look forward to seeing you. The agenda has come together quite nicely. We are full of speakers and workshop panelists. And opening is going to be Representative Pam Marsh. We were really appreciative of her coming by, taking time out of a busy schedule. And we'll look forward to seeing our good friend Pam Marsh, and we've got a whole list of individuals that is going to be posted on the website as we get an opportunity to do that. We're going to have workshops. It's going to open, the doors will open at 10:30. You can check in, get some cookies, get some coffee, that type of thing. And the whole thing, after some opening remarks, begins about 11:10. So, we look forward to seeing you. Though, as mentioned, we have lunch. We're going to have a Q&A section, and we do want to give a disclaimer at the very beginning of this. This is not a substitution for legal advice. We're not giving you formal legal advice. These are opinions and information based on what we have available. As always, in any situation involving a serious matter such as litigation, you should speak to an attorney. Now, the way we're going to do the Q&A so it's fair to everybody, I've been to a couple of gatherings in the past, not one of ours, but there were like 5 people who wanted to ask 1,000 questions and kind of hogged the whole microphone for the whole time, and a lot of people went away kind of angry. So that's not the way we're going to do it. We want everybody's questions to be heard, and the way to do that, or at least the most popular questions to be heard, is have people write them down, submit them, and then we're going to take the most common or the most popular question, I'm not quite sure how to phrase that, going to take the most repeated questions and get those informational pieces out to you. There'll be also links, and there'll be also subsequent information available in handouts, so we hope everybody goes home at least pointed in the correct direction. And really, that's what OSTA is all about. We're not here to give legal advice. We're here to help you make good decisions on things coming up in your life. Come on to the conference, get learned up, as I like to say, and hear some good things from people who know the right answer. Get those questions in early, and we will answer as many as we can. There'll also be prizes drawn, and we'll even have a little bit mingling time at the end. So we hope to see you there. Tickets available, good seats. Yeah. Let's see what's coming up next. We have had also a lot of questions on HB 3054. There's been a lot of confusion and in some cases contention on when this measure takes effect. So to alleviate that, here's the most recent information. It reads, HB 3054 does not provide that all rent increases go into effect after September 1st, 2025 are going to be subject to a 6% cap. Instead, HB 3054, which has an effective date of September 1st, requires the Oregon Department of Administrative Services to calculate rent increases for January 1st, 2026 and each subsequent year at no more than 6%, and this is for parks and marinas with 30 or more spaces or slips, and for parks or marinas with 30 or fewer spaces and slips, it will remain at 7% plus the CPI with a maximum of 10%. And we're not going to know that number until September 30th. And here's a proviso: so long as the rent has not been raised in the previous 12 months. Okay, I can see how this can be confusing, so let's take a look at a real-life example. An OSTA member wrote in concerned they got a rent increase notice from a park in the Salem-area. They got that in mid-September, and the rent notice proposes to increase the rent by 10% effective January 1st, 2026. They ask, is that legal? Can they do that? No, it's not. It would violate HB 3054 and ORS 90, 324.1 subsection A, as amended, because the increase would be effective in 2026. Now, the landlord could have used August 31st notice to raise the rent by 10% effective December 1st, which would have satisfied the necessary 90-day notice requirement. But in looking it over, the landlord did not do that and instead chose January 1st of 26 because it last raised the rent on January 1st of 2025, and the law limits rent increases to once every 12 months. So, simply put, the answer is no. This notice violates Oregon law. As we've stated in previous questions, there can be a 3-month rent penalty for violations of ORS 9324.1, and for reference, you can look at Section 90-600-1, subsection C. A tenant in the park would have a valid claim for the penalty if the landlord actually does charge the higher rent in January of 26. Now, it's essential to note that just getting a notice does not initiate a claim. One attorney also suggested that if he were a tenant, he would simply not pay the increased amount. No letter to the landlord, no response at all, and if the landlord tries to evict, he would counterclaim for the 3-month rent penalty. It is important to point out, if you do choose to get into that type of situation, you should pay the existing rent on time and in the manner prescribed by your lease. Related to this issue is something we talked about last time, and one of the more recent OSTA updates. It has been suggested it's not a good idea to have your rent automatically deducted. And here's the situation that this could be a problem. If this park in Salem, you were set up for an automatic rent deduction from your checking account, the landlord could, in theory, deduct the new unlawful rent amount, and you'd have to go through all kinds of hoops to get that money back. So do pay your rent on time, do pay it in the manner prescribed by your lease, and a lot of people are thinking, maybe I'm not going to do it from my checking account automatically like I do my car payment and my car insurance, and that's a choice you have to make, but it's a consideration that is valid. Okay, that's everything for this week for September the 10th. A lot of information and a lot of subsections and sections. We're going to be posting this. If it's not already there, it should be on the website, the OSTA website, very quickly. And I will have the link in the front where you come in here to the podcast for buying existing tickets. So the full text of this, what I just read, is available on the website. And as with anything, when you're dealing with money and you're dealing with legislation, it's good to read it twice before you act. Make sure you have the good information, keep you on the right path. That's it. See you at the conference. Stay safe, stay warm or stay dry, depending on where you're living. It's raining here right now. So have a good day. We'll see you at the conference.